Beat the Reds 8-4 and win the series in Cincinnati to round out the first half of baseball, heading into the All-Star break. On today's episode, we will recap the Cincinnati series and the Cubs' 2026 draft class. Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Cubs Line podcast. I'm Ryan Dunleavy.
And I'm Ron Zlinski.
And today the Cubs beat the Reds 8-4 to round out the first half of baseball with a record of 54-42. Big win today from the Cubs. Big game from Seiya Suzuki, PCA, Alex Bregman. Top of the lineup came through in today's game. Big series win. Started off pretty pathetic on Friday. Couldn't put up a run against Hunter Green, as good of a pitcher as he is. Still should be able to put up a run. Cubs have been shut out way more times than they should have this year. But, Ryan, what were your overall takeaways from this Cincinnati series to round out the first half of baseball?
Pretty solid series. Friday was garbage. I mean, that was god awful, but able to pick that back up with a couple wins. Saturday and Sunday when the series gets some momentum going into the break. Bregman's starting to heat up. Look at that, and look what happens when he gets hot, huh? You win baseball games. So, yeah, really really solid series. And good to get some momentum going into the break.
Yeah, we're going to start off this episode a little bit unorthodox. We're going to talk about the Cubs' 2026 draft class. So, the Cubs' first round pick was Cade Townsend, pitcher from Ole Miss. He was picked 23rd. He was ranked 35th by the MLB scouting department. In the second round, the Cubs selected outfielder Caden Sorrell from Texas A&M. He was picked 62. He was ranked 33 by the MLB scouting department. And then for their second round pick, which was because Kyle Tucker went to the Dodgers in free agency, so they got that complimentary pick. They made the most of it and got first base slugger Miles Bailey from Florida State. He was the 75th pick, ranked 83rd by the MLB scouting department. In the third round, they selected pitcher Carson Jazza from Nebraska. Jazza was the 173rd ranked player in the draft, according to MLB, but was picked 98th. With their fourth round pick, they took, excuse me if I butcher this, Dylan Marinozia from Northwestern State. In the fifth round, they selected Dylan Blomker from La Cueva High School. In the sixth round, they selected Isaac Morton, pitcher from Minnesota. In the seventh round, they selected Cole Triba, pitcher from UC Santa Barbara. In the eighth round, they selected Lance Williams, pitcher from Maryland. In the ninth round, they selected Chase Meyer, pitcher from West Virginia. In the 10th round, they selected Luke Allwood, pitcher from Seattle. In the 11th round, they selected Ariston Vesey, pitcher out of Clemson. In the 12th round, they selected Brandon Arvinson, pitcher out of Tennessee. In the 13th round, they selected Emmanuel Hernandez, catcher out of the Carlos Beltran Baseball Academy. In the 14th round, they selected Corey Nunez, shortstop out of UC Santa Barbara. In the 15th round, they selected Griffin Nassis, pitcher out of Cal Poly. In the 16th round, they selected Ashton Pokal, pitcher out of Florida Gulf Coast. In the 17th round, they selected Ryan Martin, pitcher out of UNLV. In the 18th round, they selected James McGrath, pitcher out of James Madison. In the 19th round, they selected Luke Goff, pitcher out of Vanderbilt. And then in the 20th round, they selected Brennan Hudson, catcher out of Georgia. Very pitcher heavy draft by the Cubs. Only selected maybe 5 position players, but I think this was a really solid draft, and they really needed pitching more than they needed bats in the farm system. Besides Jackson Wiggins, you don't got a lot of high pitching prospects right now, so I think the Cubs addressed the matter at hand. And Ryan, what was your thoughts on this draft class?
I don't mind it at all. They're really struggling with the pitching, and we've always mentioned, the the lack of homegrown pitching talent. I don't mind it. I think it was a really good draft. Overall, like you said, they didn't select many position players. It was very pitcher heavy, so I really liked it.
Yeah, so I want to give a quick shout out to some of the guys that gave us a follow on Instagram. Third round pick Miles Bailey. Second round pick Caden Sorrell. Um, Ninth round pick Chase Meyer. Fifth round pick Dylan Blomker. Seventh round pick Cole Triba, and eighth round pick Lance Williams. So we got 7 follows from the Cubs 2026 draft class. So thank you guys so much for the support. Um,
Yeah, I love to see that. Would love to maybe sit down and talk with some of them. Get some interviews set up. I'd love to see that. And you know, welcome to Chicago, fellas.
yeah. So Rye, what was your favorite pick out of this Cubs draft class?
I mean, I did like the first pick with Townsend, but I really do like the Carson Jazza. I think that's how you say it. That
Daza,
name,
yeah.
round three, pick 98. I remember watching him at Nebraska. He played, he played Michigan in the Big Ten tournament. I watched a lot of the Big Ten tournament, and he really impressed me. He had a 3.59 ERA this year, 117 strikeouts, only 47 walks. His curveball is where he really shines. Held batters to an 0.54 average, 6 for 111 with 81 strikeouts this year. So he's got a pretty elite curveball, and I mean, I really like this pick. He really stood out to me watching him in Nebraska. I recognize him. So that's probably my favorite pick, honestly. I do like a lot of the pitching, but Carson Jazz is definitely my favorite pick.
Yeah, I got two. So my first one is second round pick, Caden Sorrell. In 2026, like these are video game numbers. He hit 341, hit 23 bombs, 67 runs, 76 RBIs, and 11 stolen bases. Like this guy can swing the bat with some big power. Lefty power bat just hits the piss out of the ball. I think this might have been one of the steals of the draft, and I really like Sorrell. And then for my second one, I'm gonna go with the other second round pick, Miles Bailey. Bailey hit a ball 481 feet, I believe, in college. Like unreal. 118 miles an hour off the bat. Um, he was drafted actually by the White Sox out of high school. Went to go play at FSU, made the right choice, and now he's coming to the north side of Chicago. This is another lefty power bat and can just hit the piss out of baseballs, and that's what I love most about Bailey and Sorrell. But if I had to go a pitcher, I don't know. I like Jazza, as you were talking about, big dude. Can really throw the ball, but I really like Dylan Blomker. Some really underrated stuff coming out of high school. He has some really solid velocity, and with the high school guys, like obviously it's going to take time, but I really like what I've seen from Blomker. Just looking at the film and everything, and I think there's a lot of high upside with that pick. So those are my three favorite picks. But I really do like the Townsend pick in the first round as well. Plays the game with a lot of emotion, and I think he has a lot of room to grow. And he's a college arm, so he'll be up earlier than a high school arm would be. So I really like the pick of Townsend though.
Yeah, I do too. And that clip of him, I believe it's in Knoxville, Tennessee. He gets that big strikeout, comes off the mound. Like that's the kind of energy we need on this team. And hopefully he's up soon. Maybe a year or two, a couple years. But yeah, I love to see guys pitching with emotion like that. And I really do like this draft class. A couple power hitters up front too in the second and third round. But um, yeah, this is gonna be pretty interesting. I really did like the draft class.
Yeah, so did I. Hopefully, schedule some interviews and stuff soon. Would love to. But now we'll talk Cubs, current Cubs. As they started game one in Cincinnati. Shota got in some trouble in the first with two singles, but worked two strikeouts after that. Seiya hit a leadoff double, top of the second. Green struck out the next three. I mean, just not a lot, honestly, from this game. Bottom of the third, the Reds hit three straight singles, and Shota got out of it somehow, some way. And then, I mean, just not much at all until the bottom of the fifth. Ellie De La Cruz hit a home run, 15th on the year. Smoked this ball on the right side. And then, I mean, just a boring game, if I'm going to be completely honest. In his Cubs debut, Jake Woodford, triple, sac fly, single, home run. He stunk in his debut. Would have way rather kept on to Bryce Wilson. Brewers just picked him up as the Brewer. I'm sure he'll be a stud there.
Oh
And
yeah,
he,
he's gonna. Watch, it's gonna be like Game 7 of the NLCS, and he's gonna come in and just like shut the door on the Cubs now.
Yeah, so Woodford's the guy that they selected over Bryce Wilson, and he's sitting at a 7.46 ERA. So not too great. Shota, good outing though. 5 innings, only 1 run, 5 strikeouts. Good job from Shota, even though he got the loss in that one. So I don't really want to talk about that. You got any comments on it?
Not really. Just, I mean, it's not even like there was a lot of opportunity for the Cubs, and they didn't take advantage. It was just very slow. Not really looking like they wanted to be there at all. It was a pretty frustrating game to watch.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough watch, especially coming off an off day as well. So now we'll talk about the Saturday night game. Cubs started out slow again and then bombed the first inning. Assad got in some trouble, got out of it. Top of the second, Bushy with a 1 out double, couldn't get the run in. Um, just not a lot. Pete got on second, walked, and then stole a bag, couldn't get him in. Bombed the third. Reds hit back to back leadoff singles. Then De La Cruz got picked off. Blade flew out. And then top of the fourth, Bregman walked, Kelly singled, and then Bushy ground into a double play. Bottom of the fourth, Nathaniel Lau hit a home run. Just got out, his 10th on the year, made it 1-0. And then Hanyo Suarez hit back-to-back bombs, just a Cubs killer. He's had a terrible year all year. I think he had 3 home runs this series and had a great series. He had a solo shot, so only 2-0 at that point. And then Miggy hit a leadoff single. With 2 outs in the top of the fifth, Miggy hit a single. Pete walked, and then Seiya smoked a single to center field. Miggy scored, made it a 1-run game. Then Bregman flew out, but nice job from Seiya there. And then Carson Cowley, 6th home run on the year. His ball was smoked 410 feet, 103 off the bat. Carson caps off a great first half and makes it a 2-2 game. And then Ferguson came in the game. Bushy hit a single. Nico flew out, and then Happer doubled down the line. Ball smoked 101 off the bat. Righty Hap as well, his 17th double in the year, gave the Cubs the lead 3-1. Bombed the sixth inning. Lead didn't last for long. Pomeranz came in for the lefty, and Blade made him pay. This ball just got out, but was enough. First pitch, Pomeranz threw. Blade tattooed it, tied the game. And then he got in some more trouble, but worked a double play. And then top of the seventh inning, Seiya walked. Breggy with his 8th home run of the year, biggest home run of the year so far for Bregman. Game-winning hit gives the Cubs a 5-3 lead. Alex Bregman's biggest swing as a Cub so far, I would say. Thielbar came in, gave out a 1-out in the bottom of the seventh, gave up a 1-out hit, but got 2 big strikeouts on arguably the 2 best hitters on the Reds, and De La Cruz and Stewart. Top of the 8th inning, Happer walked, couldn't get him in. Bottom of the 8th, Jacob Webb came in, gave up a 1-out walk, but was nails after that. Struck out Suarez, painted on an outside fastball. Great pitch, probably the best one he's thrown all year from Jacob Webb. He's been nails as of late. And then Cubs couldn't get any insurance runs in the top of the ninth. And then Ryan Rawlston comes in for Stevenson, gives up a single, wild pitch. Stevenson on 2. Arroyo lined out. Stevenson got to 3. Marte came in. Rawlston struck him out. Rawlston walked De La Cruz. Thornton came in, running. De La Cruz got to second, winning run on second base. Trent Thornton icing his
Tying run on second.
tying run on second. Trent Thornton icing his veins, works ground out, comes off the mound, pumped up. He was fired up. Cubs win this ball game 5-3, and as much as I hate to say it, the bullpen was on lockdown in this one.
They were nails, yes, sir.
Besides Drew Pomeranz in 3 innings between their 4 high leverage guys, I would say, when Thielbar, Webb, Rawlston, Thornton, they went 3 innings, allowing 2 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So really nice outings from those 4 guys, and that was my big takeaway from this game. What was your takeaway in this 5-3 win to force a rubber match on Sunday?
Just never going away. You're down 2-0 early. You had already lost game 1 of the series. It's 2-0. You're thinking like, they're just gonna put their heads down and they're gonna lose this one 7-1 or something like that. But just the ability to fight back, chip away, half the big double. The Reds come back to tie it, but the Cubs respond again. Bregman, a huge swing, like you said, the biggest swing of his Cubs career. I second you there. His big thing has been in the clutch moments when he's up, he hasn't been able to deliver, and he really, really delivered there. Um, but that's really all I got. I mean, it was a great game, great, come back, fight back win.
Yeah, very solid start from Javier Assad again. 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. He made 2 mistakes all game, resulted in 2 home runs, but Assad was nails from there. Pomeranz gets the win, even though he did give up a run. He goes to 2-3 on the year, but nice job from Drew. Fieldbar, Webb, Rawlson, all nails, except Rawlson, a little bit shaky, but Trent Thornton comes in, gets his 3rd save on the year. Cubs win this ball game 5-3, and as I said, forced a rubber match today. Andrew Abbott versus Matt Boyd, two of the best lefties in my opinion in the NL Central, facing off in this rubber match. 12:35 start in Cincinnati. The Cubs would go on to win this ball game 8-4. Started off hot, got into some trouble, but then this team just never goes away. Very pesky comeback win there. Um, First inning started off hot. Pete worked another walk, stole a bag. Sale flew out. Pete got to third, and then Breggy with a little double. Not really double, it's really just a blooper. Got down, good hustle
Yeah.
by Bregman to get to second, but you'll
So
take that.
and that's what we've been looking for. We need more of that hustle from him.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's going to get resulted if you hustle like that. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no difference between a double hit. It's all marked down the same if you hit a ball 115 off the wall and get a double, or if you hit a ball 60 miles an hour, little blooper, get to second. I mean, it's all the same in the
All the
stat.
same.
Then Kelly struck out, but Michael Bush, big lefty lefty double. This ball almost got out. This was a legit double.
Yeah.
Made it 2-0. So a Pete walk and doubles from Bregman and Bush make it a 2-0 game. And then Boyd got into a little bit of trouble with 2 runners on, but then struck out Suarez. Bottom of the second inning, Dansby made an unreal grab on Stevenson to get the first out of that inning. Top of the third, 1-2-3. Bottom of the third, Brian Hayes got a single. De La Cruz grounded into a force out. Stewart hit a double. Runners on second and third. Steer RBI ground out made it 2-1. Boudet with the single made it 2-2. And then Suarez finishes it up with a bomb, 433 feet, 4-2. I was pretty frustrated in this moment, but then all good. Next inning, Kelly walks, Bushy doubles, Nico grounds out, Happer walks, Dansby strikes out, and then Kevin Alcantara on his birthday smokes the ball up the middle. I mean, Steer, I don't know who the shortstop was, but whoever it was definitely should have made the play. But good things are going to happen when you put the ball in play, especially over 100 miles an hour. And on his birthday, this was a huge knock for Kevin Alcantara and kind of what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, huge knock, get the game back tied again. Huge moment for him. He had the problems earlier in the year, got sent down, but he comes back up and he makes a big impact. Huge hit for Kevin Alcantara. Probably play should have been made, but it didn't, you know. So huge knock from Alcantara here. Probably, I mean, maybe the best of his career so far. So yeah, just big knock, tie the ball game up.
Yeah, and then it was all knotted until the top of the seventh inning. Dansby comes in, hits a double. Rammer comes in to hit. Lefty comes in, works a good at bat, but looks at a fastball low, strikes out. But then all good. MVP comes up, smokes the ball into the gap. Single makes it 5-4. Seo with the single. 2 runners on. Pierce Johnson comes in and a Breggy bomb makes it 8-4. Puts the nail in the coffin. Another huge knock from Bregman. Probably 2 biggest hits he's had all year in these past 2 games, which you love to see. Makes it 8-4. Bottom of the seventh, Boyd would end up striking out De La Cruz, and then Gavin Howell nails again. He's been really good as of late. Worked a ground out on Stewart, struck out Boudet. Cubs go down 1-2-3, and then bomb the eighth. Howell with another great inning, struck out Suarez. Weak ground out on Stevenson, and then struck out Novi Marte. So really nice job from Gavin Howell. Then Ramirez and PCA would work walks on top of the ninth. Cubs couldn't get runs in from there. Thielbar came in for Arroyo, gave up a single, got Johnson to fly out. De La Cruz hit a single, so 2 runners on. Jacob Webb comes in, works a ground out for 2 outs, and then Spencer Steer strikes out. Nice job from Jacob Webb. Cubs win the ball game 8-4. They win the series. We'll talk a little bit about the pitching in this one. Matt Boyd gets the win, goes to 5-1 on the year, so a pretty nice record from when he's been on the mound. Really nice outing, I would say, is in terms of length, but obviously don't want to give up 4 runs. But he went 6.1 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He's at a 4.5 ERA. Hallowell, really solid outing, 1.2 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts, 2.79 ERA. Thielbar gave up 2 hits. He's continued his struggles. And then Jacob Webb gets 2 big outs, his 5th save on the year. Cubs win this ball game. Rye, what was your takeaways on Matt Boyd and just the game in general?
Well, Matthew Boyd, I mean the length of the outing is the important thing. I mean one bad inning though. That's the thing. Can't let that happen. But don't want to be giving up 4 runs. But he did make up for it. Like I said, it was 1 inning, one bad inning. He was able to get into the seventh. I think he's looked really good. You mentioned the record's 5-1. Don't really like to look at the record too much, but it's Cubs are winning when he's on the mound, so you love to see that. But good win today. I mean, you look at the score and it kind of looks like they beat him down a little bit. They really didn't. 5-4 in the seventh. It was 4-4 in the seventh actually. Cubs took the lead. PC had a single, and then Breggy the bomb to just put the nail in the coffin. But yeah, huge series win. Take this momentum going into the break.
Yeah, this was a huge series win for the Cubs. Really well needed, especially against NL Central rival. Um, so, yeah, I mean, now we can take a look around the MLB, seeing how everyone wrapped up. Um, Red Sox beat the Mets 3-2. Anthony Siegler and Jaron Duran with big games. Rayleigh and Williams blew it late. They won in extra innings. The White Sox beat the Athletics 9-1. Brady Montgomery with a 4 RBI game. Um, the Pirates beat the Brewers 14-5. Big offensive day as the Miz backed out of his start versus Skeens, even though Skeens did struggle. The Orioles beat the Royals 8-2. Um, Samuel Basallo with a big day in that one. The Yankees beat the Nationals 5-3. Ben Rice hit the go-ahead triple in that one. The Mariners beat the Rays 8-2. Randy Rosarena with a bomb in that one. The Phillies beat the Tigers 5-0. Zach Wheeler with 10 strikeouts as he finishes the first half 10-1 with a 2.13 ERA. Still somehow not an all-star. The Guardians beat the Marlins 5-2. Brian Riccio and Joey Cantillo with big games. The Twins beat the Angels 4-2. Taj Bradley with another great start. The Braves beat the Cardinals 4-3. The Braves scored the winning run on an error in the ninth. Never looked back. The Rangers beat the Astros 6-5. Brandon Nimmo with a walk-off. The Giants beat the Rockies 3-1. Willie Adames with all 3 Giants RBIs in that one. The D-backs beat the Dodgers 5-3. Home runs from Tawa and Vargas in that one. And the Padres beat the Blue Jays 5-4. Eighth inning rally of 2 runs was all it took for this Padres team to win. And then today was the futures game as the AL smoked the NL 6-1 in that one. Home run in that one came from the AL side. As Fluling hit a home run in that one. Cubs prospects in that game. Congratulations to them. Josiah Hartshorn was 0 for 2. And then Mason McGuire came in for .1 of an inning, gave up a hit and a run, but did also record a strikeout. You'll love to see it. So congrats to Josiah and Mason for making the Cubs proud in that. A little standing update heading into the break. Cubs down 5 games on the Brewers. Phillies down 2 games on the Braves. D-backs down 11.5 games on the Dodgers. Yankees down 3 games on the Rays. White Sox and Guardians tied for first place in the Central. And the Mariners 1.5 games back of Texas. A little wild card. Cubs up 2.5 games. Phillies up 2 games. Marlins up a game. Cardinals trail a game. Pittsburgh trails 2 games. Arizona trails 2.5 games. San Diego trails 3.5 games. Washington trails 4 games. Those are the real contenders. And then in the AL wild card, Yankees up 6.5 games. Guardians up 3 games. Mariners and Twins tied for that last spot with Boston a half a game back. Boston was down maybe 8 games a week or two ago. Love to see it. The Astros down a game and a half. Baltimore down 2 games. Toronto down 2 games and a half. Detroit down 3 games and a half. And that is the standings heading into the All-Star break. Rye, who are we going with tonight for MLB Pickle?
Let's go, Braggy. Big series.
Yeah, about time. Finally earning his money.
Yeah, really.
Hopefully you could carry that into the second half when it really matters.
Yeah, we need him to. Cubby's only 5 games back. Don't let him get hot.
All right, we got righty, third baseman. All right, I'm AL East, righty, third baseman. Ooh, I think Josh Young, third
He's a
baseman.
lefty.
No, he's a righty. So not AL West. So
Oh
it's got
no,
to
I'm
be
thinking of someone else. That's on me. That's on me.
AL East. Ooh, who's the Yankees third baseman? Caballo, I think.
Caballero, yeah.
Caballo. I'm just gonna go Ben Rice. I don't feel like spelling that right now. I'll see if we even get the team. Nope. I'm gonna go Junior Caminero because I know he's the third baseman for the Rays. And that is the MLB Pickle Player of the Day, dude.
Wow, look
Nice.
at that.
There. Now we'll play Immaculate Grid. All right, Boston and the Twins.
I'm trying to do all right. Outside U.S. Or born
Oh,
outside the U.S. Boston.
Brian Bale. I'm gonna go Brian Bale for the Red Sox.
I went with Devers. For Cardinals, I'm gonna go with Yachty.
Poll.
I'm just trying to win today.
Thinking of a poll. I'm gonna go JoJo Romero.
2,000 hits batting, born outside the U.S.
Big Poppy.
Big Poppy, Big Poppy, Big Poppy, Big Poppy.
2,000 career hits on the Reds.
Joey Votto.
Adam Dunn, Joey Votto. Yeah, go Joey Votto.
2,000 hits, Twins, Jim Thome.
Yeah, it should work.
Congrats to Landon on being drafted.
Yeah, pretty cool to see. All right. Cardinals. I don't know. I don't feel like keeping you guys here. No offense, but long day. Recording this at 2:30 in the morning right now.
Grind never stops.
Yep. Sonny Gray for Twins and Cardinals. Big Poppy for Twins and Red Sox. Bronson Arroyo for Red Sox and Reds, and then Scott Rowland for Cardinals and Red Sox. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Cubs Line podcast. Signing off, Ryan Dunleavy.
Ryan Zelinsky.
See you guys in the next episode.